Hey, everybody. Great to have you listening to us today. I am here with a great friend of mine and a person that mutually I'm helping others with regularly, Brian Fleming. And Brian, thank you for taking a couple minutes here for having a little conversation with me. Brian is grounded in so many areas, but ultimately, he's the go-to guy when it comes to life insurance. So, Brian, can you talk a little bit more about this broad topic, but then also some of these other areas that you have now mastered and become specialized in, some strategies that I think some people aren't even aware are possible with what your expertise is.
Sure, and thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'm an insurance agent, but I specialize in the life space, life insurance products. First of all, there's a need for life insurance, unfortunately, but it is what it is. We're all going to die. And at that point in time, even if that's tomorrow, what is your family, your loved one, what position are they going to be in financially if you only have a little or no life insurance? So everyone in my book pretty much needs life insurance. Now, I can help people with that. I could also help them use life insurance to create wealth, to pay off debt and create wealth at the same time, or life insurance products to give them a guaranteed income for life instead of just always being dependent on 100% volatile stock market.
So I know when we're working with some of our lending clients, a lot of times people, as they move through life, and I hear different responses from different ones all the time, and they'll say, "Oh, I get life insurance through work," or "So I'm good." What are your thoughts on that part when people they're partially set up, but what would you say about that?
I think it's great that they have that. I had it. I was a police officer before I started doing this. I had life insurance at work, three times my income. But that wasn't enough. When my wife, stay-at-home mom, if I were not to come home, she wouldn't have enough for three times my income. She needed more. So I had my own personal. It's good to have both. It's just extra what you have at work, but you should have your own that you're completely in control of as well. Because if all you have is what you have at work, are you expecting to die when you're still working there? If you don't and you leave and go somewhere else, that life insurance will not follow you. Now you'll have nothing. So it's always best to have your own standalone, plus get the extra stuff at work as well.
And another question I have for you, Brian, is obviously there's a number of different life insurance solutions. And one of the areas that I know I've had some clients reap some benefits of this, but one of the things that you lightly mentioned already here while we're talking, and I know you could probably talk for hours on this topic, is are those programs where there's actually like a cash value, or there's some other maneuverability that you can do with that product or those programs. Can you talk more about those and some of the many, I know there's limited time here, but many different strategies you could take if you have access into some of the resources of the programs?
Yeah, sure. I teach people how to stash their cash in a whole life policy. There's basically two kinds of life insurance. There's term and perm or permanent, and permanent is whole life insurance. So I teach people how to put money in a life insurance policy that's going to be cash value rich, death benefit poor. So it's more geared towards building up a pool of money or capital and then using it to your advantage while you're alive to take loans against to buy things, major purchases, appliances, cars, could be real estate. I use my policy as a down payment for a piece of rental property. Whatever it is, the money continues to grow and then you pay it back and use it over and over again. So it's a really neat concept when you get to it. We're already putting money, being depositors, putting money into a bank, and then we go back to the bank to take a loan from them. So why not become your own banker? Because that's what this concept is, becoming your own banker, just building up a pool of capital in a life insurance policy and then using that. That's all.
Yeah, no, that I think for the everyday thinking, so many people get so entrenched into the traditional bank concept, I think is maybe a paradigm shift that many of us need to have. And that's so true because I know on that same note, like you said, people park sometimes tens of thousands of dollars in a bank account that pays them zero, and there's inflation. I know there's a lot of different factors that go into all of this, but yeah, like being your own bank, I think that is really an intriguing concept for so many. And to just spin that a little bit differently for a different way of thinking, for sure. So if somebody wants to learn more about how to do that or how to properly protect themselves, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
My website, my company is Financial Fortress Builders. I build a fortress around your finances so you don't have to worry about losing any more money if you don't want to. So financialfortressbuilders.com is my website. 414-762-6849 is my office number, 414-762-6849, or Brian, Brian, at financial.com.
Awesome. And we'll have information in the post above and below this. And if anybody would like to reach out to, definitely direct message either Brian or myself, and I can get you in contact with Brian. And I think it's just such a key topic that is so often overlooked. And unfortunately, sometimes we hear stories where people didn't take the right steps for this, and then the unfortunate happens and their families aren't properly set up for what needs to be done. So Brian, thank you again for taking some time to share with whoever might be listening to this. So please reach out to Brian or myself, and we're happy to help you with your different wealth creation solutions.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.